Hello everyone, welcome back. Welcome back to F1 Live, welcome back to Instagram Live. And yes, welcome, or as we remain still in isolation. You've got 2 interviews in 2 days, you lucky people. Will Buxton with you as always, and I'm delighted to say that joining us in a short while from his home in the glorious climes of Monte Carlo will be Mr. Daniil Kvyat, who we've just been speaking to, waiting patiently for today to start. He's on very good form, and I can't wait to welcome him in and talk about all things F1 2020 or not F1 2020 and what he's been up to in isolation. There he is. Hello, sir. How are you?
Hi, Will. How are you? All good?
Yeah, all good, thank you. All good. How's Monaco?
Sunny, warm, and yeah, not so busy as usual, but still nice and still good to be here. Yeah.
Is it like a total lockdown there? Are they allowing you out to go for a walk or?
No, it's actually starting to be easier now these days since Monday. So few shops are starting to open, and luckily we've always been allowed to run here, and that was a massive help because without that would be very boring. Yeah, and to sit home all day would be very not so great.
Yeah, I can imagine. How have you been keeping yourself busy? How have you been keeping yourself entertained? Has it just been lots of training and running?
Yeah, I discussed this in pretty much every of my interviews now, also with you. It's the same. It's the same always. It hasn't changed. Last couple of months been like every day was very similar. Like some days keep training, ordered some elastic bands, some weights, some kettlebells and stuff, and was able to find a place to set it up nicely. And yeah, running generally, and some outside training if possible, of course, by yourself. Have electric guitar here and things like that, classic guitar, movies, books, cooking, washing, all these things, a bit unusual, but still important to know how to do them in life.
Now, you F1 drivers are used to having your days planned out for you. Like everything happens at a certain time. Have you had to write your own schedule of like guitar playing is 10 till 11 and then running is 11 till 12 and
No, maybe those kind of artistic things are a bit more, I would say, a bit more of a free time. Whenever you want, you do it, no? Reading, watching movies and guitar is a bit of, whenever you feel like it, you do it, no? But then going to bed, waking up, I still try to keep it all exactly the same time because it would be very easy to, just start going to bed like in the morning or something like this, back of time, but I didn't, so I just tried to maintain some discipline there and training, running and stuff. Yeah, also that try to always the day before try to define also talking with my trainer, of course, also which day to do what and so on.
is it hard to get into a rhythm though when you don't know what the target is? Like we don't know when we're getting out of this. So is it hard to kind of have a target, have a focus?
First couple of weeks it was, yeah, I think I would agree, but then it just became so you kind of find your routine, no, and you just try to follow it as good and as with as good quality as possible.
Yeah.
And that's it. You just keep trying to get fitter and fitter and train. And actually, it's the hardest thing was to actually stop to train and stop to do the activity. And sometimes you also need the rest days also, which is not easy. And because of course I'm an athlete, and suddenly they told me that I have to stop. I found myself, in a particular situation, like most of us, but still.
And lots of people doing esports, lots of people doing sim racing. Is that something that you are sort of a fan? First of all, are you watching any of it?
No, I'm not watching it. No, it would be. I'm not the biggest fan of this.
Not your thing.
No, I am not. I'm. I just have my sim here, and it has some trouble with connection. Let's put it this way, and I wasn't able. So, but I still find I download some lap times from other series, and I try to beat those lap times, some world records and stuff like that, and some setups and stuff like that. It was good. Was trying to learn some new tracks, like the long version of Nürburgring. That took me like a couple of days actually to really like remember the corners quite well by heart. So it's a very complicated track, and to do many laps in a row consistently on the track is super challenging, and I really like that.
I think haven't they reopened the Nürburgring today? I think for people to do laps. I read that this morning.
Yeah, I mean, it should be quite safe now. People are in their cars, and it's quite individual, I guess.
Yeah. And the lap's so long, you easily get social distancing on a lap in Nordschleife. Yeah, absolutely. So that's cool. So you're doing sort of different driving around different places rather than what you're used to in F1. That must be good fun.
Yeah, exactly. Just wanted to learn. Of course, I do also some what I used to do in F1, but something new, to have some fun and some curiosity, a bit of rally games as well, and this kind of things. Try different cars to see what's fun. Because of course you know how F1 behaves, and for you it's always very hard to find the perfect replication of that feeling. So you want to try something, maybe sometimes something different, but yeah.
Nice. And lots of guitar playing as well. I'm not going to ask you to play it because I know that's. I would do, but are you enjoying it? Are you getting any better? Because we travel so much. I play guitar too, and I never get time to play because we're never at home. So in lockdown, I bought myself a 12-string. So I'm sitting at home and just. It's so lovely just to be able to play guitar again. It's so calming and enjoyable. Yeah,
exactly. That's why I do it. Sometimes you just can sit down, and 1.5 or a couple of hours will just pass by very fast. And electric guitar, is always something I always wanted to learn. And I started basically from zero with electric guitar here on the lockdown, and managed to learn a few songs. Not perfectly, but it's a very good fun, satisfying when you just get better. But now I would need someone to take me to a bit next level, some good teacher, and now you're not allowed, so that's a bit hard.
How are you learning? Are you teaching yourself? Are you going from books, or are you watching online tutorials?
I watch online tutorials on YouTube. There are some good guys who do it very who explain it very well, and luckily I can read the tabs. Not perfectly, but I can read them, and I download those as well, and slow, step by step, learn some songs and
amazing.
Repeat them.
Amazing, but it's all about practice, man. Give it. I mean, by the end of lockdown, you're going to be Steve Vai, Joe Satriani. You're going to be amazing. You'll be
try. We will try. Yeah.
The guys have sent me some images and some photos of some things that they want me to go over with you. One of these is an old video, but you love your boxing. Are you managing? Do you have do you have a punch bag at home that you can keep yourself fit with?
Yeah, well, there is a punching bag not far from my home, and I can sometimes have a little access to it, but it's tough in these times. But yeah, every time I try to hit it, I try to do well. This is quite old. I got a bit better.
Yeah, they tell me it was about a year ago. But it's good, man. Is this something that massively helps with training as a racing driver in terms of sort of, I guess, mental alertness, the physicality of it as well?
I just find it very, very nice sport. Yeah, it's very cool. It helps me to disconnect, to forget a bit about if you have some issues a bit outside. You just go in the boxing ring and you work on the bag, and you really enjoy that process now. And I always want to get better and better. So hopefully when the lockdown is over, I can continue to work. I was really enjoying it, and once again, there is very little time now to do everything.
Talk about getting back in the car. Let's go over a really happy moment from last year. An amazing race, an incredible results. Germany was just what an amazing day. Yeah.
Well, it's nice to see. It's always going to be nice, incredible memories for me, actually. Gonna be, yeah, a very special race, very special achievement, as per se. It's very, was fantastic to bring, the team back on the podium after, a long time for them. It was a special day, and after all, some struggles, some not so easy times, to be able to have this kind of podium was a fantastic, and the race was very tough. Yeah, it was very tough.
It was great. It was a great race. It was wonderful to watch. And of course, no longer Toro Rosso, now Alpha Tauri, and a great launch. They sent me this photograph. I think the guys were suggesting that you and Pierre might have a future in fashion, given that launch. That was, that was so, all of the fanfare with the launch, and we can't go racing yet.
Yeah, it was a different kind of launch, and I thought it was quite cool, to be honest, and everyone really liked it, and everyone was saying we have quite fashion, high fashion standards for our suits. White is a very elegant color, no? And yeah, and then there was models. The atmosphere was pretty cool. It was quite different. I think it was one of the coolest team presentations for a while.
Yeah, it was very cool. Very cool. Right, we're going to take a few questions from the fans who've been sending them in, as we always do for the last few minutes on these things, and see if we've got some good ones coming back in. Well, we've just had a little replay of it, and this is always a nice one. Can you describe your feelings during that German Grand Prix with all of the changes in the weather? How did you stay calm? What were your emotions like in the car?
Well, during there was many emotions. It was a tough race, like I said before. It was tough because we started with fully wet conditions. First part of the race, very poor visibility. Then the track started to dry out, and it was going through this really greasy phase. Like the track was it was drying, but it was still extremely slippery, and your inter tires were always very used, and you had to really like drive with very little grip. And the car was sliding very easily, and then it was a moment when you could go on slicks. Almost, I went, and it started to rain again. So I went back to inters again. It was quite very tough part of the race, not to spin out, and then I was P9, and there was another safety car, and I was like, the track is ready, I think, but no one was boxing, and I said, okay, let's try. Let's try to box now. And I asked the team if they're ready, and they were ready, luckily. So we risked, and it was really paid off. It was a very nice call, and we were flying, and I was P2 for a long time. Then Sebastian overtook, and last lap I almost got that P2 back. Actually, it was very close to getting it back. He went wide. I was like, just if I was half a second closer, would be P2, but. Still cannot be too greedy, no? It was a fantastic.
It was amazing. It was amazing. This is a nice question. Who was your childhood favorite driver?
Well, it's quite easy to answer. When I was starting my racing career. Michael Schumacher was the one who was winning everything at that point, and he was really the man of that moment, and of course it left a strong impression in my childhood memories. It was very cool to watch him win, and he kind of inspired me at the time. So it's him.
Right, this is a good one. This is one I asked you many years ago after about an entire year of getting it wrong. How do you pronounce?
Kvyat.
So you So as you told, you sort of swallow the K, right? So it's like
no, Kvyat.
Kvyat. Oh, you swallowed the V. So
you said it pretty much well.
Kvyat.
Not F. V. There is a V, not F.
Kvyat.
Yes, not bad. You're getting there.
I'm getting there. It's only taken me, what, 8 years?
Yeah, and I think you will still forget it soon again. Old ways.
Yeah. There was a nice question that went by earlier, which was really, really lovely. And it was, where is it? How are you doing without a barber? You're doing all right. You've got rid of it all.
I'm great. I discovered new talent. A barber, aerodynamic haircut.
Yeah, less weight as well.
Yeah, less drag, less weight, a bit less downforce, but who cares?
That's great. Are you going to keep it like that when the season starts?
Actually, I think yes, I'm gonna keep it like that more or less. It's also under helmet. I always think comfort should be the priority, and I think right now I'm feeling happy, you know. And
Have you tried it with? Have you tried your lid with the balaclava and everything just to see if it's got a little bit loose without any hair there?
good question, but I never had a very long hair actually. Maybe
That's true. That's
normally,
very
yes,
true.
it's a bit longer than now, but not by much. Then if we have to modify, then we need to modify again.
Yeah, I think Kevin's going to need like a helmet that comes out here with all
He grows it.
his crazy big beard. This is nice. What's your favourite overtaking move? Doesn't have to be an F1. Could be GP3. Could be karting. Could be whatever you want. Could you have a one like overtake in your head that you're like, that was the one, man?
Yeah, you know, it's hard to remember now everything. There was some overtakes that actually they never actually shown on TV. Sometimes they have this habit of not showing something nice, but it's okay. I know that there is a lot of action sometimes. I think last year there was a couple of good ones. I think on Kimi in Barcelona, I felt was quite satisfying around the outside. And what else was there? And maybe also last race in Abu Dhabi was on with Nico, I think, under the braking. But can't remember now that you ask. Is like if you ask me what's your favorite movie, I will never be able to remember it now. It's always like that.
It's hard. I never realised how difficult it is for you guys being constantly asked questions. And I've been asked a few questions under lockdown. And when people ask you stuff like that, your mind goes blank, doesn't it? You're like, I just can't remember it all because there's so much.
Yeah, exactly. It's not easy. Yeah, it's not easy. Always remember well the last part. So like I said, last year those two. For now, I would say them, and I remember them the best.
Right. What's the hardest other than answering questions? What's the hardest challenge in Formula One?
Well, apart from driving, or because of course driving itself is pretty much it's what's supposed to be the biggest challenge, of course, because the car you always need to take it to the absolute limit, you know, of what you have available in terms of grip with the tires, and it's the toughest challenge, you know, especially when conditions change, when it can be a bit wet or wind conditions change a lot, stuff like that. It can be tricky, and other than that, it's quite a long championship also, so maintaining your energy through the whole championship it's quite important, and sometimes can be challenging towards the end, especially if you had a busy season, and that's about it really. The rest pretty much very much enjoyable. Thursdays can be a bit dull sometimes, but yeah.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Good stuff, man. Thank you so much for spending some time with us. We will let you go. Thank you for answering the questions. Do you have anything you'd like to say to all your fans out there, everybody waiting for Formula One to come back?
Yeah, well, I mean, just stay strong and be patient. Hopefully we will be able to go back racing again soon. I can't wait. Hope you as well.
Lovely stuff, man. Take care. Stay safe. Enjoy playing the guitar. And we'll see you very soon, man. All the best. Thanks, Danny.
Ciao, man. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, guys. Thanks so much.